My name is Ari, and I used to negotiate cars for a living. First as a dealer, and second as a private car broker. And for this video, I've used Car and Driver's top 25 best sellers in the US and ran leases on all of them using March's rates and residuals. In the description below, you're gonna find so many valuable resources, including my own personal cheat sheet to help you navigate the car buying process. And if at any point you're finding this video valuable, please consider subscribing. Just some disclaimers before I start. All of these numbers are for March 2024 and all estimates expire at the end of the month. They're for 2024 model year vehicles unless I say otherwise. The deals are assuming 36 months and 12,000 miles a year. Also, the deals are assuming you're covering your dealer fees and state fees at start and won't include your state's sales tax. These numbers are assuming you've got a 720 FICO score. Lastly, I'm just some guy on YouTube. At the end of the day, please always do a bit of research to verify accuracy of these estimates and even try to do better than these estimates. Diving right in, you guys. At number 25 is the Ford Escape, and at the moment, Ford has roughly 16,000 Escapes across the US. 4,000 of those are active all-wheel drives. Overall, a terrible program on this thing, landing at a payment at $463 if you got it at the dealer's invoice cost, and about $518 if you got suckered into paying MSRP. How do I know the invoice cost and inventory levels? Well, check out my cheat sheet by clicking right here or the link in the description below. 25 bucks, you'd be kind of crazy not to get it. At number 24 is the Subaru Forester. Subaru's definitely racking up inventory in the US with roughly 20,000 Foresters available, of which 5,000 are limited all-wheel drives. On a $36,000 MSRP, your dealer invoice price would be around $34,000, which would land you at a payment range between $413 at invoice and $476 at MSRP. Not bad at all. At number 23 is the Mazda CX-5. Mazda's got about 22,000 of these on lots, and the inventory is equally divided up among all of the trims. We've got about 4,000 2.5S select all-wheel drive, and assuming we got it at invoice, we're talking about $398, and at full MSRP, it's going to be around $420. At number 22 is the Jeep Wrangler. Jeep has tons of inventory on the Wrangler and Wrangler E, not to mention the brand lineup as a whole. 3,500 Sport S 4-doors in stock. Crazy high 3-year residual of 73%, making the lease $595 at invoice and $636 at MSRP. I should probably say though, Jeep Wranglers get leased out by way more banks than just in-house captive lenders like Chrysler or Stellantis Financial. Drill down into the low fives for a great Wrangler deal, the low $500 payment. At number 21 is the Subaru Crosstrek. 13,000 Crosstreks available at the moment, with 4,500 of those being premium all-wheel drives, which we're going to be using here. Not the best lease program I've ever seen, but even at MSRP, we're still under $400 a month and under $350 a month at invoice. At number 20 is the Subaru Outback. Roughly the same inventory available here, 13,000 roughly Outbacks, and 4,000 of those are limited all-wheel drives. Way better program on the Crosstrek if you ask me, even though the Outback has a super low money factor of 0.00163. How do I know the money factor? Well, the cheat sheet, of course. Click the link in the description below or right here to download that cheat sheet. At invoice, it comes out to $468, and at MSRP, you'd be talking about $540. At number 19 is the Toyota Highlander. Highlander inventory is not looking all that great, with an exiguous, an adjective meaning small in size or amount. An exiguous 5,000 units nationally, with 1,200 of those being XLEs. At invoice, you'd be looking at around $533, and at MSRP, about $646 a month. At number 18 is the Ford Explorer. 1/3 of the 30,000 Explorers in the US at the moment are XLT all-wheel drives. Definitely not an exiguous supply. At invoice, you're at $629, and at MSRP, you're at $683. At number 17 is a model you may have never heard of. I certainly hadn't before this. Honda Accord. 7,000 of the 9600 Accords that are out there are EXs. Honda is definitely saying buy the EX. Actually, no, they're not even saying it. They're pretty much forcing it. Phenomenal lease though, if you ask me, on this thing. Just never heard of it really. At invoice, expect about $333, and at MSRP, expect around $380. Definitely better than last year for sure on the Acorn. At number 16 is the Civic. Never heard of that one either. Half of the 14,000 Civic sedans that are out there are sport front wheel drive models. Invoice data that I pulled using the cheat sheet pointed to the fact that if I can get a $1,500 discount, that would bring me down to around $316, and at MSRP it would bring me to about $359. At number 15 is the Hyundai Tucson. 12,400 Tucsons out there. I know it's pronounced Tucson. I pronounce it Tucson. 3,700 of the Tux are SEL all-wheel drive, and the lease program flat out sucks this month. $463 at invoice and about $500 a month at MSRP. At number 14 is the Chevy Equinox, 20,000 units with all of the trims pretty much available. However, focusing on the 1LT all-wheel drive, which we've got the most of. Actually, that was a lie. We have more front-wheel drive than all-wheel drive. However, because I'm in New England and anything but all-wheel drive is pretty much useless, the $33,000 1LT all-wheel drive that I'll be using for tonight would lease out around here for around $391 at invoice and about $434 at MSRP. Speaking of this whole all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive situation, I have a good friend who actually watches this channel a lot, who just got a front-wheel drive car here in New England, and we were actually discussing the importance of tires and how great tires make more of a difference than an all-wheel drive system can. Yet New Englanders don't really go by that, and the market doesn't really reflect the fact that tires are more important than an all-wheel drive system, because most of our cars, if not all of our cars, are all-wheel drives. At least the SUVs are. At number 13 is the Toyota Corolla. Ultra exiguous availability with the Corollas, with only 5,000 of them being available. Half of those 5,000 being LE front-wheel drives. At invoice, which I doubt anyone will actually get, we'd be talking about is at $307 a month, and at MSRP, you're talking about $357 a month. The reason why I don't think anyone will get it at invoice is because the profit margin is already razor thin on a low MSRP like that. So given availability being exiguous, why would they discount it? At number 12 is the Tesla Model 3. Big news. Just kidding. I don't have anything for you guys. Check the Tesla website. I've got nothing here. At number 11 is the Toyota Tacoma. Word of the day can definitely be used here. Roughly 4,000 2024 redesigned units, but inventory is definitely creeping up. On a $45,000 SR5 at MSRP, we're talking about $550 and $100 less, so about $450 at invoice. At number 10 is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is just gas non-L inventory. Tons of L and 4xe inventory available also. 15,000 Grand Cherokee non-L traditional gas engine Grand Cherokees available right now, and half of those are limited four-wheel drives. At invoice, it's about $563, and at MSRP, it's about $593. But I gotta say, with Jeep, I would try and get well below their invoice cost, especially given the amount of inventory that's out there. Try to land somewhere around the $400 range for limited. At least that's what I would do for sure. At number 9 is the Nissan Rogue. Nissan still has a ton of 2023s, but I'm only talking about 2024s for this video. At the moment, we've got about 8,000 2024 Rogues, and 2,500 of those are SV all-wheel drives. The Rogue lease program is far better on a 2023. How do I know? The cheat sheet. At invoice, it's about $461, and at MSRP, it's about $517. At number 8 is the Toyota Camry, and unfortunately, well, actually, fortunately, I can't use the word of the day for this one because it's got about 14,000 units nationwide and nearly half are SE front wheel drives, which I have to say I love. It's not that I love the fact that it's a front wheel drive. I love the fact that Toyota Camrys with an SE trim with SE styling looks phenomenal. I love the SE. Great program this month on this thing, by the way. So it's a win overall. At invoice, it's about $374, and at MSRP, it's about $448. At number 7, the GMC Sierra with a whopping 30,000 units nationwide. 4,600 of those are Elevation 4x4s, and the lease program that isn't bad, but isn't really tasty altogether. Yeah, they have tastes for me. I can actually taste lease programs. This one tastes like a 70% dark chocolate, like not super bitter, just kind of bitter, but kind of sweet too, I guess. $572 at invoice and $670 at MSRP. Sorry about going off on that chocolate rant, but I feel like this one is going to get drastically better, like a milk chocolate-ish in the next few months. Not white chocolate though, take it easy. At number 6, the Honda CR-V, 13,000 CR-Vs, and you guys, a lot of Honda CR-Vs are available as hybrids, which I'm not even including in this figure or these figures that I'm talking about right now. 5,400 of the CR-Vs that are shown here are EXL all-wheel drives, and if you pulled off an invoice deal, you'd be at 474 on this bad boy. And at MSRP, I forget what it is, so just check out whatever I have written on the bottom there. At number 5, the Model Y. I've got too much to say about the Model Y. That's why I need you to refer to Tesla's website. They'll summarize everything that I know over there. At number 4, the Toyota RAV4, America's favorite SUV. That's right, get the hell out of here, Ford Explorer. 7,100 RAV4 gas units, and you guys, we've got a ton of hybrid units available too. Actually, we have more hybrid units than gas units. I made a video actually talking about these two vehicles that I'll put a convenient clickable link to right here at the end of this video. You need to check that out if you want a RAV4. At invoice, an XLE Premium is going to go out for around $469, and at MSRP, you can expect around $538. For LEs, you definitely want to try and target a $300 to $400 payment range. The last three are the big three. At number 3 is the Ram 1500. 30,000 Ram 1500 showing up on a Car Guru search that I did, and 6,000 of those are Laramies with extremely high MSRPs. A $64,000 Laramie with a discount down to invoice would still equate to around $711 a month and $824 at MSRP. However, this invoice is not the dealer's final invoice cost. I would even pursue another few $1,000s off and try to get it in the 500s, the high 500s, or low 600s on a Ram. The reason why I say this is personally me, I've seen invoice sheets with the dealer's invoice coming closer to around 11% after factoring in everything that they get from the factory. So you want to pursue a fatter discount than just invoice or whatever they say their invoice is. At number 2, the Chevy Silverado. What a great program on the Silverado. 65,000 are available right now, and 14,000 of those are LT 4x4s. On a $53,000 Silverado, at invoice, you're looking at roughly around $588, and at MSRP, it's going to be around $676. But again, follow the same advice I gave you on the Ram for the Silverado and try to target the high 4s, low 5s. Even if they say we're losing money, odds are they haven't even begun to go below their cost if they're saying we're losing money on this car. At number 1.5, because I'm talking about 2024s, the Ford F-150. These numbers are for the 2024 because I'll talk about the 2023 next, because the 2023 inventory is unexiguous or inexiguous. I can't really say which one it is because I didn't Google it before this, so don't quote me. 12,000 2024 F-150s, and 25% of those are XLT 4x4s. A $58,000 XLT would likely lease out at $704 at invoice and about $793 at full price. However, definitely use the advice that I gave you for the Ram and the Silverado for the Ford F-150. Like, definitely use it. And at number 1 is the 2024 2023 F-150. Still 40,000 2023s left on the ground, nearly half of those being XLTs, with a program that really doesn't excite me at all, but would bring down the payment to around $690 at invoice and $774 at MSRP, which means a lot, because what you can do is because they're old 2023s, you can get them to discount below invoice, targeting a deal of between the high 400s and low 500s. At least that's what I would do. There you have it, folks. The top 25 bestsellers in America and what they're leasing out for the month of March. Check out the cheat sheet by clicking here or the link in the description below. And as promised, the Toyota RAV4 video that's going to change your life forever. And by forever, I mean for just a few minutes until you actually get the RAV4, which by that time you'll completely forget that you watched the video like that and your life hadn't changed really all that much, because things are still going kind of sideways. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.